worse now than then. Cheating and stealing, violence and crime. So for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Because yesterday is gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a I'm only human. I'm just a woman. Help me believe what I could be and all that I am. Show me the stairway I have to climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. Do you remember when you walked among men? Jesus, you know, if you're looking below, it's worse now than then. Cheating and stealing.
Hello, cherished viewers. I bring you greetings from the Inside Studios, and you are watching the Virtuous Woman's program. It is a program where we discuss anything feminine, anything woman. And today too, we are here to share our beautiful and unique pregnancy experiences with you. It is going to be centered on the waiting period. It is the journey to conception. And joining me right from the comfort of their own homes are two great ladies. I call them the two great visionary women because they are founders of two women empowerment groups. And they will also talk to us in the course of the program what the group is all about. Let me quickly go and introduce them to you. And as they tell their story, you will be inspired. Something will touch your heart. You will know what it feels to go through pregnancy, even the journey to conception, and you know how best you can relate to such women you meet along your way. With me, I have a great woman. She is joining us, as I said, right from the UK. She is Lady Mrs. Hilda Boache. You are so much welcome to the Virtuous Woman's program.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank
Really.
God, thank God. We also have with us our lady, Mrs. Priscilla Ogumola. She's also joining us right from the UK, and she's here to share with us her beautiful pregnancy experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Ladies, you are so much welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
As I said, this program aims at encouraging and supporting all waiting couples. We are here to tell them that we are with them and that what God cannot do does not exist. And in his right time, he is going to do for them as he did for these beautiful ladies. Let me go to them. Let me ask them to tell us a bit about themselves so that for us who don't know them, we will know them better. Let's start with Lady Mrs. Hilda Boachi. Please, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Thank you so much. My name is Hilda, and I'm a mother of one. I'm a wife. I've got little business. I'm somebody who really believe in working for yourself and pushing yourself a bit better. So I'm an entrepreneur. I have a very big dream to help people. It has been my dream from day one that as I'm bettering my life, there's others who exist who need better life as well. So yeah, basically a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, and somebody who is into charity. I really love to help others.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. She's not selfish at all. She says she helps others. The interest of others is at heart. Lady Priscilla, please can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Lady Susie, for such an opportunity. Like she rightly said, my name is Priscilla Wood. I am a wife and I am a mom of two beautiful girls. By profession, I'm a fashion designer, and I also like doing little businesses. So I'm also into some businesses to help myself and my family. Yeah, so that's all I can say about myself for now. Thank you.
You heard them. I told you they are two great women. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's go right into it. As I don't know, but in an African home or from a lady coming from a typical African setting, right into marriage, you want to start a family, you want to get pregnant. I would like to know how expectant were you right into marriage, or how long did you have to wait before getting pregnant? Lady Hilda.
I'm going to say that with our African community, when people get married, the whole lot, I mean, everybody around you expects you to get pregnant straight away. But I will use this opportunity to tell all my lovely African people, it's not our decision on how and when we get pregnant. We have to leave it into God's hands. You may have your own rules, like your own plans that when I get married, a month after my wedding, I'm gonna get pregnant and this and that. It's my little advice. It doesn't really happen for everybody. So it took a while for me to conceive after my wedding. But to say how expectant was I, it's every lady's dream that once you get pregnant, once you get married, you want to get pregnant. And some of us we will want to say, okay, when I get married, I will give myself 2 years to really prepare and pave way properly before I bring the kids out. So with me, it took a while, but I wasn't super. I read like, okay, I want a baby, I want a baby, I want a baby, I want a baby. I knew God will set the page through at the right time. So yes, it took a bit of time for me to conceive, but as for being so expectant and going crazy all over, no, I wasn't like that. I was just believing God in His own right time, and the keys will come out. So I'm this person that you will not see me at church or on the street crying or asking people, help me get pregnant, help me get pregnant. I have this strong belief in me that we are all different as individuals. So some people may get pregnant right after their wedding. Some people may need to go through checks to see when they're ovulating and all those kind of. So seriously, it took a while, but I wasn't irate for it.
Thank God it took a while, but at the end of the day, it happened. Lady Priscilla.
Okay, what I can also say is, like Lady Hilda rightly said, when you get married, everyone has her own plans. Okay, as to when I want to start having babies or not. But one thing that happens, or one thing that push the ladies is their voices around. It's something that really happens among the African community, because as soon as you get married, even you, the married woman, you're not even thinking of maybe you have your own plan. You're not thinking of having babies now, but the voices outside, I don't know why they keep getting worried, and that affects the women a lot. Personally, when I got married, my plan wasn't to have babies immediately. My plan was, and my husband's plan, we were planning to have babies after a year or 2 years. But fortunately, after 3 months, I got pregnant. Okay, and we praise God, we're happy about it. But something happened along the line which changed my mindset, or which made me become so expectant or so anxious, and I really got worried. Okay, so yeah, the first pregnancy I didn't succeed. Okay, and a whole lot. So that put fear in me. So it made me really get worried. And after that, my first baby came after 3 years of marriage. Yeah, so that is it.
Wow, you see, so it is not about how ready or you are, but sometimes it is what God actually wants for you. That is what happens, what God wants for you. So, with what you people just said, if a young lady is watching you right now, what will be the advice you give to that young lady as to entering into marriage, how expectant they should be? What should they put into their mind before they get into or when they get into marriage? Lady Hilda.
So when it comes to babies and pregnancies after marriage, is, like I said, complicated, individual differences in your fertility, your levels and stuff is so different. So my advice for every young lady, planning weddings or trying to get married, what I would really advise is, at the cost of your preparation to get married, try and check your ovulations, check yourself, okay? There are churches that give you some forms to go through, some tests before you get into the marriage. So my advice to ladies is, make sure you are taking care of yourself properly. If your aim is to get pregnant straight away after the marriage, it's not like people think. Because in my situation, I thought when you get married and you move to your husband's house, you're doing the boom shakaraka, then you're going to get pregnant. But then in reality, you could be doing it and you're not conceiving. But the mistake that we do as ladies is we forget to go for checks. So if you're not ovulating, if your ovaries are not rightly placed, if your husband is not having the right sperm count, we always think about before. Okay, my mother is doing this, my father is doing this. But let me tell you something like this: go have your checks and let your doctors know that you're planning to conceive before you even get conceived. So let them know. So if they find something like this, little fibroids or something that they need to help you treat before you even start, So my advice for young couples or people trying to get married and thinking of conceiving straight away from straight after the marriage, you should do your checks properly. Thank you.
Okay, you see, so what we need to do is there is a lot of information out there today. If you want to know whether you are ovulating, whether you are fertile, it is out there. We can go and search this information thanks to Google. You have videos, having health practitioners telling you all those things, so we don't have to sit and then expect that it will happen. There are certain things we can do also to help ourselves. So if you don't know fertility, how to check all those things, there are apps that will help. And also Lady Hilda talked about the churches helping us, which means that even before we get married, when we are dating, there are some sensitive issues that we need to talk about. It will sound so strange that you ask your fiancé, so like maybe the man asking the woman or the woman asking the man, if should in case we get married and we don't conceive, what will be your decision? That would be an odd question to ask, but I think it is important that we do. Then what you need to do to help you yourself as a couple, you are ready for it. Thank you so much, Lady Hilda. Lady Priscilla, what do you have to say about it?
Well, every young lady planning to enter into marriage has an expectation, or let's say expectations. They can have 1, 2, 3. It depends on whatever you want. It could be that you want to have children immediately. It could be that you want to, have money. It could be that you want to, have a happy home. But one thing that we forget is that we don't work towards our expectations. Nothing happens just like that. And you have to work towards it. Is it pregnancy that you want? You have to work towards it. Spiritually and physically. You don't just sit down and expect, to get pregnant just like that when you are not doing anything about it. You don't sit down and expect to have a happy and joyful home when you are not working towards it. It takes two people. You don't sit down and expect to have lots of money when you sit down home idle, not doing anything. These are some of the expectations of every young woman who wants to enter into marriage. But the problem is, are we working towards our expectations? We don't work towards it. If it's pregnancy and it's not working, it's not coming, instead of us to, do some important checkups, some visits and other things, we sit down and we say we are waiting on God. But you need to work both spiritually and physically. Money that you want, if you are not working, it's only your husband going and coming. The same money, feeding your family, feeding your husband's family, taking care of the home, and you are just sitting down and you expect to be, to prosper, or you expect to be rich. It doesn't work that way. You need to go out there and work towards your expectations. So my advice to the young ladies, but even if you are in it and you are not working towards your expectations, then you better start working towards it, because nothing happens by magic. It takes you and your husband to work so that your expectations can be met. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lady Priscilla. Let me just chip in this. This is a very important question I want us to tackle when it comes to today's program, that the waiting period, the journey to conception, the journey to conception. So I want to ask ladies, what are some of the things couples can do whilst they are waiting? I've heard so many couples say that when we were waiting, we had to take a time off, like take a vacation, just to take our minds off it. And right there on the vacation, it happened. Pregnancy happened. They conceived. So what would be the advice you give to waiting couples? What should they do in their time of waiting? Lady Hilda.
So let me put this into two sections. If you find out from your doctors that there's a problem, So this is into two. There may be people who may not have any problem at all. In my case, no problem. I have my period 26 days on point. I never miss a period. My ovulation on point. Everything was perfect. So there's nothing they can do. Okay? So the only thing I could do is only believe. Okay? So in your situation, if you find out from your doctors that there's an issue, that is why you're not conceiving. And then you have to go through a thorough check. You take the precaution, whatever they are going to tell you to do, you take it step by step and do it. And with people with no issues, nothing, you just think, it's like in my case, relax. I think we all need to relax. People were saying, hey, oh, jai high hill, like, you don't know what I'm going through. It's not like I just feel like, okay, I'm 40 and I don't want a baby. I love kids, but you don't have to explain yourself to every individual. So find time, speak to your partner, try and eat good, stress-free. If you're trying to conceive, no stress. That's what I was doing. So you enjoy yourself, eat well, make sure you're eating a lot of greens, you build the fertility levels in you. So you eat well, no smoking, no alcohol. When you decide to conceive and then they've done a thorough check and there's nothing wrong with you, the only thing you can do is only believe in God, eat well, don't smoke, don't drink. And the reason why people say that I went to a holiday with my husband and then boom, I get pregnant is your nerves. You need to relax your nerves. You need to make sure you are relaxed. When you go on vacation, there's nothing like, let me go and clean my house, let me go and do this, let me go and cook for my husband. Everything is you sleeping and waking up, breakfast is served, you go for your facials, your massage. You see, your nerves are so relaxed. So if yours was stress prevents you from getting pregnant. If you don't know, ladies, make sure you're doing things that make you happy. That's why people say, oh, after the wedding, we tried to conceive, we didn't. But then when we went on a holiday, boom, we got pregnant. It's because you were so relaxed and you were not thinking about it so much. So in your waiting period, if it's not a medical problem that you have to go through, is check. Again, our age play a big factor. Okay, so if you're in your 20s, 30s, 35, fertility level is high, your eggs are, multiple eggs. So chances are you get pregnant very easily. In my situation, I got pregnant after 35. So definitely it's something that they have to keep an eye on. And then like they did all the checks and there's nothing wrong. You can only believe in God, and then again, make sure what they told me is what I'm telling you. So eat well, no drinking, no alcohol. Make sure you always relax. You're always relaxing. So to me, yes, the waiting period, use that moment to do a lot of things. If it's not medical, if it's medical issues, it's different. Because then they have to do keyhole operations. So you have keyhole operations to check if everything is in the right place. They have to flash up the ovaries. There's a lot of things that go through. So it's two different ways. If yours is not happening, there's time for everything. We are all different, and then there's time for us. Now, we are in a way that you will get pregnant right after your marriage. I will get pregnant 5 years after my marriage, and we can't do anything about it. It's the plan and the will of God. So there's nothing. If it's not medical, there's nothing we can do. So that's the basic stuff. In your waiting period, relax, eat well, no alcohol. Make sure you're taking holidays, and again, please make sure your husband is being checked as well. Most of the time, it's not only from the ladies.
It's not only from the ladies. African home, when there is problem with fertility, the first person they point out is a woman. So let's all check, both husband and wife. Let me chip in this, Hilda. So when one is going through all this difficulty in getting pregnant, how does one try to enjoy sex and then still trying to get pregnant? I can imagine how difficult it is. Like, you yourself, you are stressed up, you want to have a baby, and then you still have to. How is that possible? What can you say about that, Lady Hilda?
So, with sex, I'm going to say this. I know it's on a very big social media thing, I'm not a sex person, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know how to put it. But see, sex is something that both of you should enjoy. But then when you're thinking of, at the point I'm like, okay, so if it's only sex that makes us pregnant, I've been trying to do this sex thing, by the way. My husband told me straight away, I think you don't want to have sex anymore because you're tired, because this thing is not coming up. You know? So I'm like, okay, sex should be something that when you're not relaxed, it's very difficult to enjoy. Okay? As for sex, when you're not relaxed, it's very difficult to enjoy. I'm not a sex person, my husband is a sex person, you're a sex person, your husband is not. So you need to be on a balance, you should balance sex. But when you're trying to conceive, they tell you. No. I'm not saying that loud because I don't want, I don't want you to hear. So they are telling you in a week, I can do once in 3 months. And then I don't want to baby. So please balance it. I know it's very stressful. I fall short when it comes to sex. I'm not going to sit here and be like an angel. You get so tired that I've tried for 4 years, I've tried for 5 years, I'm done with sex. But let me tell you, sex is not the only thing that it plays a vital role in, because you need the sperm to meet the egg, but the mind is also a factor. So if and your husband, how your husband to the sperm count, if the sperm count is strong. So sex is a vital role, but not. I will give you like 65, but for the next 5 days, relax your mind and eat well, because you can have all the sex in the world once a day, but the kid will not. You can try all your best. This is not the time. It's not the time.
Lady Priscilla, thank you so much, Lady Hilda. Lady Priscilla, what advice will you give to couples, or what are some of the things couples can do whilst they are waiting?
Okay, I will use myself as an example because my waiting period wasn't easy. This is something I get emotional when I'm talking about it, but God will give us grace. I remember
I'm holding.
So I said from the beginning, I got pregnant within 3 months of marriage, but I had a miscarriage which really almost ruined my life. I got a miscarriage at 20 weeks, that's 5 months. 5 months of pregnancy. I had to give birth to a still baby because we don't know what happened. Everything was okay. Only one day I just started having contraction, having pains, went to the hospital. And the only thing they could tell me was I had a urinary tract infection. So they gave me an antibiotic to take, and then I went back home. But the pain was still increasing. I couldn't do anything. It got to a point that I couldn't even, if I just like going to urinate, but the urine is not even coming. What is happening to me? And the pain was just increasing. In fact, I was confused. My husband was confused. I didn't know what to do. So,
I think Priscilla is having. Okay.
That's what going to zoom tight. I want to profoundly. So,
I think Lady Priscilla is having a big problem with her connection.
So, sorry.
Okay, you can go on.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you perfectly.
Oh, that is not starting to disturb me. Okay. So, my husband, you can hear me? Okay. So, my husband rushed me to the hospital, blood, pains, and just because of what was happening. Hospital that was even close, the closest hospital crumbled. My husband lost his way. It was not quite enough because he was confused. I felt like I was dying. He didn't know what to do. I was shouting. Hey, so thank God, finally we got to the hospital and they visited me, and the doctor said the placenta has, I don't know how to put it. The placenta was disconnected or something like that. That means the baby is coming. Baby is almost dead. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I can't talk about everything I went through at the hospital for the baby to come out. What they did to me, the things they put through my womb, God made me feeling. I can't talk about it. The pains, crying, and they kept encouraging me. Papa said, "No, this is not going to be the last baby. It doesn't mean that we are not going to give birth again." But since it was my first time and I never expected something like that, for me, it was disaster. It was the end of my life. But thank God, everything was successful. The baby came out, but lifeless. Okay, so that is it. And then after, I also had 2 more miscarriages, so making 3 miscarriages in 2 years. I had 3 miscarriages in 2 years. Okay. So if you are here, I want you to know that your situation is not hopeless. No. 3 miscarriages in 2 years. And then what happened again? The other year, there was no issue at all. I couldn't even get pregnant. Nothing. We did some tests, blood tests, test my womb, everything. We did everything. Even here in the UK, I was here in the UK, we did everything. They told me your blood is okay, your womb, everything is okay, your fallopian tubes, they're all open, nothing is wrong with you. You just have to wait. You just have to wait. Even the doctors used to tell me that I have to wait on God, wait on nature. My doctor in Italy would tell me, look, enjoy the moment, enjoy your marriage. When you wake up, go outside, look at the nature. I don't know what he was talking about. I want to get pregnant. You have to tell me that I should go out and enjoy the nature. Nature, no. That's not the So 1 year, there was nothing. In fact, I got to the point that I have to dive into the Bible, pray. I came to the point to know that no one can help me. My only hope is God. So just at the beginning of the 4th year of marriage, went to visit our doctor, and he said, okay, I have done my test, so now my husband should go and do a test also on his sperms. I said, Nipa, I watched them go 3 times. I said, okay, we just have to follow. And then we were getting prepared, went to get the coating, everything. That same month, and then I got pregnant. So, in fact, during the pregnancy, I was a bit scared. And 3 months, I was scared because I lost 2 within 3 months. In the year 20 weeks, it was 5 months. And then also, it's any little thing. Now they'll do hospital because they know my story. They will attend to me. There was one funny thing that happened at the hospital. Because of the first one, my mom and children know it. And make us say it was the drone on the man. And I said I was having pain in my tummy, and they gave me para. They say you can take para, or the mommy. Make us stand me go, or the mommy. So I went to the toilet and I flashed the tablets. So far as my catcher said everything is okay, dear. Me know my dream, yeah. So yeah, that is it. And by the grace of God, I can't talk about everything now. By the grace of God, the 4th pregnancy was a success. I had a wonderful baby, strong lady. She's my strength. I call her my mind because she made it through. Okay, so please, whilst I was waiting, anyone that is at the sound of my voice, if you are waiting, don't just sit down. It is not coming, so don't just sit down and say you are waiting. Do everything possible you can, spiritually and physically. Most of the African women, we don't like going to the hospital because we are afraid. What do you want? So back when you are control, this is your problem. And also better on one, I was you have to go. So that when you go and everything is okay, then you know where to, direct your prayers to. Okay, so you need to do both physical and spiritual. And my mother used to say, me marry that many more than me exercise. And it's true. We be on many brings no me why do. Many bring to also me call jogging, Me wanna stand on my muscle. So like here that's it. You need to bring your mind, exercise, go outside, take fresh air. If you are too big, if you are too big, it's also a factor. If you are too tense, it's a factor. You need to relax, exercise. So once I was what to wait, so once I was boosting the immune system, do it. So once I was just something spiritual, it got to a point that time we're not even having our permanent place of worship. I told my husband, I want to be the Hannah of our time. Because me could say, Annie, can I go to the church? I want to go to the church and pray and sleep there. But I couldn't do it. That is the point I got to. And by God's grace, I got pregnant. Thank you.
Wow, such a story. It is only God who can do this. The hand of man cannot do it. It is only God. Lady Hilda, can you take us through a bit of your pregnancy journey? The things that you love doing, the things that you liked about your pregnancy, the things you didn't like, anything about your pregnancy that you want to share with us?
So this is me buying a lot of pregnancy tests in the house. So once in a while, I will just go to the toilet, check it, I'm like, just throw it away. I did check for a while, though it doesn't show on my face when you see me outside. When you see me outside, this is me coming like a giant.
Dress up and show up.
Yeah, you look like the devil. And there was a time somebody told me, how do you do it? You are old, you've waited for 5 years, you love kids, you've got few God. When you get to that point, everybody wants to make your godmother and godfather. You know what I mean? They think you're good with kids, but where is your own? So I bought a lot of pregnancy tests and I'll hide them for my husband. So there was a time I went to the toilet. 2 weeks the period didn't come, like, okay, who be that? So I'm not going to get super excited. So something just pushed me. I went there and I did it. It showed 2 lines. I'm like, yeah.
God has done it.
Is it real? And then, this is me telling myself at the toilet. I'm not going to tell my husband. I'm not going to tell anybody. Let me leave you for a while. And then that pregnancy test kit is still in my jewelry box. Because that was a miracle strip for it. I don't think it's going to go on my baby book. I'm making a book for my baby, so it's going to go in there. So this is me and I'm just staying there, trying to be strong. And then there was a time, I think I had this, so I'm like, okay, I told my husband, well, can you that was December. So I found out in December. January, I was a bit quiet, So I told my husband, I want to go to walk-in center because I feel like, so when I went there, I told the lady, I feel funny. And when I it hurts a bit, blah, blah, blah. She said, oh, it's urinary infection. So go get me go and urinate and bring it. And my husband was in there. So I went to urinate, I brought the urine, the whatever. And then I asked her again, I want to go and urinate again. She said, is that bad? I said, yes. So when I came back, the lady is chatting with my husband, they were smiling. I knew before, so I'm like, just let me go and have the final confirmation. So my husband, the lady said, Hilda, you're pregnant. I'm like, I know. And so my husband looked at me and he was like, So that's me finding out. And then, so coming home, I knew it. And he got to know a month after because I was trying to play this thing. I've seen it before. You think you're pregnant, you're not pregnant, you don't want to check, So this is the time I'm like, God, I thank you for this seed. I believe this seed is going to be formed and it's a miracle. I took this pregnancy like a business that I'm going to take it on another level. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
So, okay, me going to work for the first 3 months wasn't easy at all. my friend Anita will come here, and then my little Anita, what must say my name? So my little sister will come here, and then she will say, oh, Auntie Udamin ko, Miss Susan, first 3 months. My mom will say, now after the 3 months, no. We did the kuni okra, avocado, because I read and then this is me going out with chic clothing, trainers and this. People are saying, is she pregnant? She's not, she is, she's not, she is. I really enjoy my pregnancy after the 3rd month. 3 days to give birth, I went to a wedding, Chichi's wedding. And the way I was dancing, they are like, okay, Auntie, the baby will come right now. I said, no, the baby is not coming. So I went to Esther's wedding, Augment and Anita's wedding. Last wedding was Saturday and Tuesday, baby was out. This is me active and, showing all outfits because I was so grateful. And this is God doing this miracle. You don't know what's going to happen next. If you're going to have a kid. Now, you're unique. So don't think your friend is having 12 kids and you're going to force yourself out to have 12 kids. You're different. God, we are all in the individual differences. And so the Mawa pregnancy is very difficult. When you go there, let me tell you something. Any test that they ask you to do. So my friend Emma told me they are going to ask you to take a small sample from your baby's, spinal cord to check for disability and this. I said, I'm scared. She said, no, Hilda, you need to take it. So I want to say a big thank you to Emma. So I've got everything that they tell you. Don't let people discourage you that when you're pregnant and they give you this injection, don't take it. You see, there's this Nicole here that died. I cried because she was so active, pregnant, was beautiful, and all of a sudden the lady is gone. So please, because I think there's checks that you go through when you're pregnant. But because I was very old, my dream book it was all like this. Because I have to go for checkup. When you pass 35 and you conceive, your check is different. So I want to let every individual, and again, when you're almost 40, you're going for this, you're going for that. Don't give excuses. That's when they will find out if the baby is stable, if the baby is good, if you need to take this medication, if the fluid around the baby is too much. Now I speak with nurses sense because this is me. I want to see whatever is going. So I'll go and they will tell me the water is too much. You need to do sugary this, sugary that. Your sugar level is this, and I'm so China, so I don't expect to be doctor to be saying this. So next year and make the judgment yourself. Make sure you're going for every individual appointment. If they ask you, we need to take this special from your baby's spinal, allow them. Don't wait till the baby is out and you'll be very, very disappointed. You chrome, apparently what? A little bit disability, no. It's through this check that they can find out and help. So pregnancy, I really enjoyed my pregnancy. I'm not going to lie about it. It's just the first 3 months that I was a little bit sick, but after the 3 months, go and see all the weddings, playing and dancing, and So make sure you enjoy the moment. Don't worry. When you're pregnant, you start thinking you're going to die. You're going to, there's this thing. And again, please, if you're watching it and you're trying to conceive, read. Research. There's so many information around that can help you. Because there's this thing that I read somewhere that when you're pregnant, you tend to be suicidal, you tend to dream about you falling down, you tend to do. So I asked midwife questions like, why is it that when you close your eyes to sleep, it's like you're seeing pictures? I think in 70% of pregnancy, they think it's normal. So these are things that you need to learn before you get into it. So on your waiting period, again, you're going back one step, read, seek for advice. And go tell what down to be say, your cast be wo ba pania na pania doctors are not stupid. Pray about every individual thing you do during your pregnancy. Somebody will tell you, man, say hi, we're going to come out topic child, make sure you're pregnant and covering your baby. I heard this somewhere that when you're pregnant, you don't take pictures because of hey, I have pictures. I have 38 weeks, I have 38 and 38 and 1 day. I have every picture. This is my memory. So enjoy it, relax, eat greens, Eat greens. Eat greens is very important. Eat greens, a lot of fluid, good fluid, not coke. We have a place, oh, we have a coke, oh, you want to know coke, but it's not good for your baby. Whatever goes inside your mouth, the baby is taking it. So whatever is going inside your mouth, make sure, baby, don't get pregnant and drink alcohol. Don't get pregnant and drink alcohol, because what's going inside you, baby is taking it directly. Then see immediate. There's my sister-in-law Jojo. Salt, benku, and okra. Make this start to have a pregnancy and avocado and bread. This is my go-to. Every time I'm eating salt, benku, and okra. So make sure you are eating good, you are relaxed. Whatever goes on inside you affects the baby. Speak to your baby when you're pregnant. When I find out I'm pregnant, my baby is Giovanni. Gracious gifts. I've never been to Italy, but the meaning of the name, he was a gift. And now I'm still here. I'm going to have the girl. And the girl, I want to have Gianna. Why? Gianna. Because God's gracious gift again. So when all these happy moments in you, the babies come out very, very happy. And they become very healthy. And don't think I have to get everything. You can't have everything in this world, okay? Remember pressure and tone. I need the baby squats that move, run, and sing do, re, mi, fa. So you can't afford it. Just relax. Buy your own thing. And again, don't shop too much when you're pregnant. Another thing I learned.
Mistakes of first mom. First time mom.
First time more. But because I've had experience with my sister's son, I have HRL, so I have an experience. That little boy taught me a lot, probably. And let me tell you something, if you're trying to conceive, love kids. Because that boy, when you hurt him, you hurt me. And that was my friend's, my little sister's son. So I had that love for him. And I learned throughout my pregnancy journey, it's like I'm looking at how I've been through with them. They are so vulnerable, they need your love. So I was giving my baby that. So make sure you're doing all this kind of stuff. Don't super shop. I would just tell you, buy a few baby clothes, just basic stuff for the first 1 month. When the baby is out, you can super shop. Because me at the hospital, when my baby came, all the clothes were too big. So when my husband was there, it was late. When my auntie, they have to go to Asda and look for tiny baby clothes because my baby was cold. And I have this red suitcase of stuff. How I went to the hospital here, I think the nurses will think, oh, this lady, my baby have a red bag, surely beautiful, everything is fair stuff. Hey, and me, I have my flower bag, nice stuff, 90. And none of the clothes and the hat did fit my son. So that night, they have to go to Asda, Tesco, they have to go around and look for outfits. So don't super shop, I beg you. Buy the basics, and when baby is out, you do your heels.
I hope we are picking up the nuggets they are dropping. If you're a first-time mom, you are told, don't shop too much, a bit. If you are a waiting couple, just relax your mind. Don't be all over the place. I have been listening to a lot of sessions talking about waiting period, and one program I always watch on Sunday 7 p.m. is My Faith My Womb show, and there we pray together in support of waiting couples. There you hear stories of women, how their journey has been the journey to conception, and it is so hard to you can't sit when you watch that video. You will see how fortunate you have been, even if you had maybe 2 miscarriages or 1, or maybe you never had, but it took some time for you to get pregnant. We know God is doing so much in our lives. Let me go to Facebook and read some comments that were shared. Mrs. Joyce Ansa is saying that you need to depend on God and relax your mind in time of expecting. Don't worry yourself. Don't be aggressive for it. It said what? It is God who gives children. Remember Abraham and Sarah. There is Perpetual Equia who is also saying, go girl. I don't know which one is. Maybe it's for...
I know.
Okay, it's for Lady Hilda. It said, go girl. The Mrs. Margaret Tando is also saying, these ladies of mine have great testimonies and experiences, but my strong ladies, thank God for your lives. Jelsomina is saying, I'm loving this session. Judith Equia is saying, what God cannot do does not exist. Elsie is saying, indeed, what God cannot do does not exist. Mr. Osikeni is saying, all the time, the Lord is great and good. Elsie is saying again, glory be to God, he is forever faithful. Dr. Samafi said, one word, heroes. Mothers are just heroes. Mothers are just heroes. Mrs. Margaret Tandra is telling Hilda that I met you some time ago in Manchester during your waiting period. God did it. Elsie says, God is faithful. Efia, Doreen is saying, exactly, we are all created in a unique way. Ma Felicia, that is Priscilla's mom, is saying, good advice. Sister Joyce says, one thing I want to tell women is that when you're pregnant, you need to delete fear in everything you do. Delete fear in everything you do. Judith. Judith says, no cook. No cook. No cook. I hope you're not referring to me. No cook. Elsie is saying, no cook. Yes, don't mention anybody's name. You already know who you are referring to. Mrs. Sanders says, Lady Priscilla, we went through great and difficult moments, but with prayers, God sailed through them all. Your mourning has turned into dancing. Praise be to God. Mrs. Ansa is also saying that when you are pregnant, it's very funny. You will eat everything that comes into your mind.
Yeah, let me highlight on Joyce's
Comments.
So she's saying when you're pregnant, it's very funny. It will let you eat anything that will come to your mind. Discipline, okay? You don't want to have, you want to do good. 40, and when I was pregnant, I was looking like 20, and after baby, my baby's not even 2 years, I still look like 16. Discipline, okay? You're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of the baby. You don't want the D-Day to come and, complications. We take things for granted. Oh, my baby, I already clear. Is it clear? No, this is one thing I did. I'm addicted to polo. It's a sweet that I eat a lot. When I got pregnant, this is me off polo for the 9 months. Yes. So discipline yourself, Joy, and you dreaming for a successful delivery. You're dreaming for healthy baby. You're dreaming for a healthy you, because you think, okay, me yesterday didn't see when you but what you are not realizing is you're not having your balanced diet, and and this is the basics we do. And I want to come out of delivery looking really good, healthy. But you need to do your part. Don't just sit down and say, oh, we're paying for the nomination whilst you're just drinking Coke. I'm highlighting on Coke because I'm not saying Coke is a bad drink, but you need to say sugar, Fanta, no sugar, banana, no sugar, try and feed them. When my baby came out, I was going through a little bit of problem. My husband held him. No, I didn't sleep, Just at the delivery room, at the C-section room, I'm like, in my head, I was praying, Lord, please, I never slept with a brony. So how come my baby is so brony? And then I look at his ears and I realized, okay, what kind of skin color? So, so it's all about how I was taking my good drinks, if you feel like you want to throw up, do your slight ginger with pineapple. Joyce, this is for you. Slight ginger with pineapple, you just drink that instead of Coke. Therefore, you have it's good.
I believe
she will make you look 16 like me.
She's saying it. Joyce she's an expert. She's one day going to be on the show and you see her. She is an expert, really. She's saying it for those who are yet to come. She is really an expert. Okay, so let's move on. all that we are saying here is like we want to arrive at where the baby arrived and you were so much happy. All that we are going through is to meet the love of our life, that is our baby. So when, even though Lady Hilda has already gone into it, but the first time you saw your baby Priscilla, you have waited, you have gone through a lot. So when it finally happened and you held your baby in your arm, how was the feeling like?
Feeling, no.
Only mothers can tell.
We cannot express it. It's a feeling that every mother feels. So you cannot express it. There is no definition. But they say I went through a C-section due to some health problems. They had to plan a C-section for me. And during the C, it was my first time to know that my name said though I always wish to have a natural birth, but either C-section or natural, what do you want at the end of it? What are you expecting to hold your baby? And during the C-section, after I start, you teaching me that, and me say, I see they crucify me. You can't do anything from your belly downwards. You don't feel anything, so only your tongue, is alive until one funny thing that happens there. Any operation, I was so anxious, but me take some pulling, some pushing, some tackling. And before the C-section, so I didn't sleep for 2 days. At home, after 2 days, I didn't sleep. And then I was admitted at the hospital a day before the C-section. And the hospital also, I didn't sleep at all, no sleep during the night. And C-section, no, I read a casa. Because my breath. It's your C-section now. There was one nurse at my shoulder, next head and my shoulder. So into honor and the other men communicating. I felt them with the whole one. I said that my eyes were going. Many call. What is this? Many call. So I told the nurse that I'm feeling sleepy. I said, I don't Paul. Say that I sleep small. I said, I only ask you because I want to be sure that it's normal that I'm feeling sleepy. You say, yeah, I'm dying, and that something is wrong. So I said, no. I've not seen my baby. I should sleep. The baby I've been waiting for 4 years. I should sleep. No, she's worth waiting for. And to be very kind, this a few minutes, and I was saying, "I'm going to see a plan." I started crying. I was happy. I was happy. Maintain the voice. I don't know how to express the feeling. I can't express it, but all I could remember was that I was really feeling good. I was shedding tears of joy. So they brought the baby to me, though I couldn't hold her because all my hands were bound, so I couldn't hear. So they just placed her on my chest, my side, and they said I should kiss her, and I kissed her. And so while they were preparing me and they were preparing their baby also, every 1 minute, I said, it's all right, it's all right. Your baby is fine. The fact that she's crying is a good sign that she's healthy. She's a problem. No, not today. Oh, I'm not taking class.
You can hear her from afar.
The first time, yes, I was really happy because I felt fulfilled. I felt I have gotten something that I've been waiting for. Charlie, it's enough.
Wow. Wow, it's so beautiful. Lady Hilda, do you want to add something?
So I went through similar, like Priscilla, but when they brought the baby out, I didn't want to touch him. I was so off. It took, I think my husband was feeding him, my husband was doing most of the stuff. I was so off, though my husband was trying to distract me with the baby, say, oh, Gio is nice, Gio is handsome. I wanted to come alive. Is it the right way? I wanted to come around. I wasn't around. So it took a while. I mean, I think at the recovery room, I used my phone to snap him. He was very far. I didn't hold my baby for a while. They wasn't straight away then because that was how bad it was. So I would just hold my phone and listen, take picture. So I have picture in his photo books. I'm gonna state when mommy can't hold you, I still love you from afar because I'm just watching him, so cute. Chinese. I told my pastor, my reverend, I've given birth to a Chinese prophet because his hair was so soft and long and he looked like a Chinese, but I can't hold this Chinese boy, so I'm just staying afar and just taking pictures. So it was amazing. I was just loving him from afar, so it took a while for me to kind of hold him back. I think then, yeah, mommy and you matches everywhere. I wish I can, if I look at here, I can do it. We thank God it wasn't a girl.
The girl she's arriving soon. Thank God for doing all that for us. It's a difficult thing, but God makes it also beautiful that when your baby arrives and you see him or her, all the pain vanishes. All that you can say is thank you God, tears of joy. And also one thing that Lady Hilda said that is very important, women, when after delivery, I've heard so many women say that, and I understand. It is not because you were a bad mother, because you cannot hold your baby right after delivery. It happens to a lot of people, and then we need to give them time for them to recover and do what they are supposed to do as mothers. It is normal also. I've learned this one. I never knew. By reading and hearing lots of stories made me to understand that it is normal. That sometimes after delivery, you don't want to hold your baby. It doesn't make you a bad mother. It is natural. And with time, you will do that. And you give your baby the love and affection that he or she needs. Let me ask, so what has been some of the challenges of being a mom? Did you hear that?
Is it for me?
What has changed after you had Joe? What changed?
Okay, so now you need to work around your baby. I mean, I am this person who wants to do personal shopping for people. So me getting up, dressing up, and just holding my bag in town, looking for products. And me saying I'm a late person. I sleep around 4 a.m. That's the time I work. So the changes are just me not being all out, but still working late nights. When Gio sleeps, then let me tell you one thing, please. When you need help, ask your husband. And I'll give this to him. He's doing so well. When he comes back from work, the baby is for him. And that is making me to do the little work that I used to do, my wigs, pack people's posting. So please, communication, because things are going to change. You won't have it the same as before. Because this is me doing my work and making sure everything is arranged. But I'm balancing it if you don't have a good partner. And every partner is good. Let me say that it's communication. So when he come home like around 5, take a bath and eat, Gio is for him. So I see them the next morning. Or when I go to bed and then he's praying, he's a little bit up. But then things have changed, but it's not totally. You have to balance it. And ladies, please, don't say that we're a baby, so everything in my world has to stop. For mature, it doesn't really balance it. Like communication, speak to your partner. If you have the funds to take your kids to nursery, kindly do. Because the other thing that makes me really relax is I take him to nursery 3 times a week. So that 3 days, I make sure I do the things I used to do that helped me a lot. So as for the changes, I can see the changes, but I'm still juggling in. I'm trying to make it feel like, oh, this is Hilda that used to work like this, post office, shops, taking people's orders. And I think the best thing to do at this stage is, most of us are in abroad, speak to your partner. Then I didn't say much, but my husband knew that when Gio is all over me for the whole week, I get stressed out. I am just like, I'm not relaxed. So when he is done with work and get home, Gio is for him. Whether he's bad or he's not bad, he will just bath him so that I can have time to do it. So for the change, you will feel the change, but work around it. Don't let it stress you to the point that you need doctor's advice, midwife advice, So that's me. There's a great change, but I'm trying to. I've worked this so perfectly that it's not really affecting me.
Wow.
And it's the help of my partner. I think that's the help. And I decided that the 3 days that I'm going to keep him in nursery, because you have to wait till he's 2 to get 15 hours or whatever. So I spoke to my partner that, listen, if I'm able to keep him that 3 days at the proper nursery, I can still do the work that I do and I can afford it. So help your husband, let your husband help you. So that's me trying to still do my jobs and pay for the nursery so that daddy can also go to work. And when he come in the evening, do it for him and I will do my work. So please, the changes will come, but you can balance it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Couples work hand in hand and then everything will be okay. Lady Priscilla, challenges of being a mother so far.
One of the challenges I was having initially was, that made me feel I wasn't a good mother or I wasn't capable of taking care of the kids. Is my children, both of them, they like crying from bed. So sad, they will cry at night, they don't sleep. So you just have, even when you're holding them, they will still be crying. Hey, so I felt like it was a big challenge for me. How am I supposed to calm this baby? So it got to a point that I even had to go to their doctor. Say, doctor, please, say, well, if it's a private lesson, mommy, I feel like I am not capable. Help me, because I don't know what to do. My first baby, and it's like I am not being a good mother enough. I can't keep her calm. I can't keep her from crying and all those kind of things. And she said, no, you're a good mother. It's just normal. You're doing what every mother can do. And some of the other challenges is also when you need to, incorporate them with other things. Like before, there are certain things when you were not around, you were doing all right, but all back, are you able to, cope with them and your own lifestyle? How are you going to cope with that? It's a big challenge for mothers, and I face it. But I also know that when children come in, for me, they come first. They come first, no matter what. No matter what, that if I need to stop something because of them, there is no means I will stop and take care of them. So these are some of the challenges I have been facing, but thank God, always I am able to choose them over any other thing.
Wow. I know one woman said that. Okay, Lady Hilda. Yeah.
So when Priscilla said the kids come first, it's a statement that I was having a session and somebody was highlighting on that. Some of us that waited so long for our kids, if we don't discipline ourselves, we are going to use the kid to block every other chances. Taking care of your husband, loving your husband too. Because remember that husband was there before the kids. I love my kid. People are saying, Hilda, you've done so much for us. You can bring your kid for 2 days. Like you can bring it. We are not going to charge you. No. Deep inside me, I know my kid is like, do you want to play around, touch everything, experiment and everything. So this is me saying, me and family, I'm not saying never say never, but at the moment that I'm really capable of doing juggling around with me, so if I don't discipline myself, he will be spoiled. Okay? So if people are sitting there, Nibashi designer, it's madness. You have to make sure your husband was there before the kids. You balance it. Because this is me, everybody thought I was going to spoil my kid. When I took Gio to the nursery for the first day he was crying. I told it was raining. The lady said, Hilda, go home, he will settle. I stood outside in the rain and cried. When I hear him crying out there, I am crying 3 times. So the teacher was like, no, all the kids do that. Don't worry about it. How much I love this. I love Jesus. I can watch him sleep and start playing in tongues. Pray. I have to talk to myself that no, it's okay. Babies are going to grow. They are going to, it's basic. So I watch him in the pot and I'm like praying in thoughts. I'm not sleeping. Sometimes he will just call, and I'll be like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. My husband will be like, chill. Watch your man. My husband will be like, it's fine. So please, let's also remember that when they come in, we balance it, please, let's balance it. That's why he goes so crazy. Agio can cry, he can cry, he can hate this, he can hate that. He likes to climb the window, and I'm scared sometimes I'm just spirit of fear. I cast him out. I'm like, that's how much I love this child so much. I have to limit it. I'll put him first. With my sister's child, Agio, I will give him all the food, and I'll tell my husband, don't eat. And you're only Agio, dear. Like that. So you see, you're not feeding your husband, you're feeding your godson. I was feeding my godson over my husband because me don't too much, what it trim. And to me, could get the hey, so no, it's something that we need to balance it, Christy. So we balance it small. And we can put them first. Only I don't know husband. The husband keeps saying.
But not putting them first in anything. That is when you can balance. When it's not possible to balance. Like you know how there are some people they can leave their kids just like that to chase unwanted things. That's what I am talking about. Or you can leave your kid and then you play with your phone. Yeah, that's how I mean by putting them first. Let them be your priority because you have to remember that I'm going to give accountability for the kids. Yeah, so not over pampering them or putting them first, husband or anything important. No, but let them be first. Yeah, let them be first over things that are not worthy. Okay, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, I have a comment from YouTube from Lady Juliana Esel, Minister Juliana Esel. She says the feeling when your baby arrives is unexplainable, even if you have had 3 or 4 before. Yeah. The feeling is unexplainable. You can't explain it. It is only God who knows how women feel when they hold their babies in their hands for the very first time. Lady Priscilla, let me come to you again. What are some of the things you have enjoyed when you are still enjoying about being a mother? Enjoyable moments of being. If we talk about this, the challenges, then the rewarding moments of being a mother, some of them.
I think for me, the main reward will be later because motherhood is a journey. You don't get the reward now, but you see the main reward later. But some of the things personally I have been enjoying right from birth is, being able to care for the children, being able to care for them emotionally, physically, spiritually. For me, it's a good moment because some people, excuse me to say, are looking for these opportunities. So when you have that opportunity, you need to enjoy it. Don't let it be like a burden that you are a mother. It's not a burden. It's something sweet. Even to hear your children calling you mommy, it's something that is very, very good. Getting up, dressing your kids, no matter how even tired you are, no matter how sick you are, even if you cannot go to the kitchen to cook for your children, because you are a mother, you have to do it. You enjoy doing it, no matter the situation, no matter. Impossible when you know of a children want to be crumpled Nancy, I experience it. Want to be crumpled and Nancy, who may be a panel so good, you will do it because there is no one there to help you. And when you are doing it, you don't won't kasa like you don't feel bad, you don't complain. You enjoy doing it because you are doing it for your children because you love them and they also love you. They want you to do those things for them. Yeah, so for now, these are some of the little things that make me happy as a mother. I'm enjoying being godmom. I'm enjoying working with my kids. I'm enjoying taking them for a walk, even when my stomach is, it's not allowing me. I enjoy taking them for a walk, running after them. I enjoy feeding them. I enjoy cooking for them. I enjoy taking my daughter to school. I enjoy hearing them call me mommy, but I think the greatest reward is ahead of us when they are of age, when they are on their own. That is when we are going to have the greatest reward. Thank you.
The greatest reward is when we have been able to do what God expects us to do as parents. Lady Hilda, rewarding aspects of being a mother.
Okay. So I was really expecting to see how my very own child is gonna, pamper me on the side. The reason why I'm saying that is I've got a godson in London, and all the forms that the mother filled, I was the next of kin. So in case something happens to him and they can't reach the mother or the father, they have to get to me. So there was a time this school called me, and I was in Manchester. He said, "Oh, your son have poo on himself, and you need to come for your son." I said, "St. Thomas, this is Hilda, godmother." And then the teacher said, "Yes, we know." He just said, "My mom is in Manchester." And that was so fulfilling. I'm like, "Your mom is in London. You work in Whitechapel. I'm not your mom." You see, they find comfort in us. And then when I hear Joe call me Tilda, and then when like Emma dropped me at home, and Ajo is in the car crying, he wants to follow me. And this is Emma is Ajo's mom. So you feel like, oh, you've done something so good that the child doesn't want to go with Emma, the child won't come into your house. It's so fulfilling. So when I had you, this is my eyes being red on how it's gonna be when I drop him when I drop you at school. Bye. I'm like, hey, mama, you say mama, but you say I. I'm like, why can't you be like Angel? Like you move. So you see, the rewarding part of child is how you bring them out. They feel it every moment, and don't underestimate kids. Angel is a baby. Sidolf is a baby. Sidolf think Auntie Hilda is my mom. It's not like the mom is not doing a great thing, because I have planted that thing in them that they will reward you back. So whatever you're feeding your child with, trust me, like Priscilla said, you won't see the benefit right now. You won't see the benefits right now. But if you're planting a good seed in them, when the 60 pound, I 60th birthday as a surprise, they are all in the university. They are all in the, you see me thinking ahead in the university, and they're like, "Mommy, we just want to eat your birthday. Let's go and get you KFC." And then they take you to this 5-star, this is accomplishment. Yes. But church. One have a business accomplishment. So I think this time we can still see the rewarding bit. When they call us mama, it's nice, you do good, but do your work as a mother and be a strong mother. The reward there, but you see the big one when they are grown up, like Priscilla said, the seed that you're sowing in them is going to come out as the beautiful flowers when you're old and they're going to show. Now, baby, it's not rewarding. It's not rewarding because you didn't plant a good seed. Excuse me for a better word. One sharp cry, not go when I'm hot, it's what you jot or cherry, then you feel more common. So please, this is the difficult bit when they are child like me. Maybe I'm cross and power and stretching you. I thought that you me do the creamy to me. So no, what brown? I'm just screaming on top of it just to feel good. You see, so the reward in there, we see them every day when they call us mommy and drink. He says a lot of words. As in the nursery is telling him, buy him a keyboard. He like boards with buttons that turn on and off. And they are telling me this, and it makes she's showing a can-do spirit, 1.5, 18 months. The things that the school will write you to do for him, I think, and remember, don't say you're a very good mom in inverted commas. So your child is at secondary school because they change as they grow. They say, they say, oh, school is giving me a lot of lists to give it to my child. So no. We're still on the learning. Every day is a learning stage, and every day is a step 2. So, like Priscilla said, they will show us reward when we plant a good seed. Period. So rewarding we are seeing is Mama D.
The whole parenting thing is a surprise on its own, and we know step by step, one day at a time, God will help us. All too soon, our time is up, but I promise we have to talk about our group. I told you there are 2 CEOs. They have a group where I also belong, so we want to introduce this group to you. We'll start with Lady Priscilla. Can you talk about this group that is being formed, the name, if we want to be part of it, the vision, anything you want to tell us about the group?
Okay, so this group is called IMP, that is Interceding Moms Platform for all young mommies, or even if you're old, you can still join the group. Actually, the vision started January. I had it in December 2019. Yeah, 2019, but it started in January 2020. And how it came about, I was just standing there washing dishes, and I heard a very thin voice telling me, it wasn't even telling me, it was like a commanding me, say I should start a prayer group for kids. And the way I buy it, I stopped everything I was doing, and I told my husband, this is the voice I heard. And he said, okay, good. Contact a few of the young mothers who are your friends, and just contact them and share the vision with them. And thank God, Susie was one of the people I contacted, and other friends, mommy friends, and they responded positively. And we started January 2020. So what is all this group, what is it the group about? It's now making sense to me. The idea, Nyame Emma vision because so we share our generation now. And Nyama cause of corruption, you see children killing their parents, children who have turned to drug. So for Nyama Bebre, I've grown to see mothers who cry always, and they are still crying because of their children. There is no peace. So it's now making sense to me now. No, this is not the kind of life I want. I won't suffer for 9 months, not even only 9 months. Even after birth, look at the way you will suffer. Look at look at how you bring up your children. Now when for you to look up to them, look now so it makes sense to me now. Yes, this is the reason why, because we don't want our children to be vagabonds. We don't want our children to be drug addicts. We don't want our children to be smokers. We don't want our children to be murderers. I collect to me a body mommy. I collect to me dinner mommy at them until I said no. And most of us, every mother, we have some kind of fear in us. Say, how is my child going to be in future? Upon all I'm doing, I'm going to die a bear thing, but Bible makes it to understand. Philippians 4:6-7 said, in everything, we should not be anxious about anything, but in everything, with prayer, supplications, thanksgiving, we should present our request unto God, and the peace of God will guide our minds and our hearts. When you're able to commit your children in the hands of God on a daily basis, mommies, you will be at rest. Because we are telling God, say, we don't have the strength. You don't follow your children to school. When they go on vacation, when they grow up, You will not follow them anywhere. You will leave them alone. But only our prayers can show them, only our prayers can protect them from this evil world. Because our children, for now, they can't do anything for themselves. They are looking up to us. So that in future, we can also look up to them. That is when we'll be enjoying the reward. So the platform, that is all what the platform is about. We are just praying for our children. Every Tuesday evening, 10 p.m. UK, 11 p.m. Europe, 9 p.m. Ghana, we meet together as mommies on Zoom, and then we pray 1 hour. Now we've added some teachings to it as well, because they say knowledge is power. We cannot always be praying when we are not teaching them the right thing. So we've added teachings as well with great men of God who will come and teach us as mothers how to bring our children up, how to equip ourselves, so that in future, what will show from nowhere to do, you see your child on the platform, performing, preaching. Oh, you feel big. But I said, me bad news. But the banner said, there are bad news now about here. Will you feel proud? You will not feel fulfilled as a mother. So these are the things we need to, to avoid. And the only way is to commit the children into the hands of God. And see, I'm calling on to all young mommies out there, even if you are not yet a mother. There are many people who are so much happy about the group, who tell me how they are enjoying the group, who tell me about their testimonies. Please, even if you are not yet a mother, be part of it, because it is a seed. It is a seed of faith that you are going to be a mother. When I wasn't a mother, I was sowing seeds of faith for my children. So if you are not a mother, you can also join the group and start sowing these seeds of faith for your children. For God to know, say, or the worker. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be part of this group. Yesterday, for instance, we had a very nice session with our mommy, Gladys Basua, who taught us how to train up your children. We are really having a nice, it is prayer. We pray, and also a little of the word, or what we need to do, the disciplines we need to do, or take the children through it. So if you are a mommy and you want to join, you can reach our mommy Priscilla, or any of the ladies you saw on the group last 2 weeks, or the ones you are seeing today here. They can also direct you to the group. Lady Hilda, can you please tell us about the Smart Ladies?
Thank you, Susie. So basically, I love to do this charity work. I've been doing it for a very long time. This is me. Things like this, like what Priscilla is talking about. She was a still voice. She was led. Being preaching, or when we talk about preaching and changing people's lives, we think that you have to be a pastor to do that. She's doing an amazing job, because Judith introduced me to the page. And this is me, the time that I get to pray is very limited, but I use the opportunity. Even if I'm very, very busy working, I still log in there and pray. So Smart Ladies is something I've been doing for the past years back. So, and it was all me. So I'll just sit down and somebody will bring a case. Somebody gave me a case on Facebook. My mom is dying. I just need some few cities to go and buy oxygen. And things like that really touches me. So I've been doing this. So find the money, take it. Somebody will tell me there's a school that doesn't have books. Kids I will just speak to my husband, print books with Hilltop movement. So just print the books. There's one I'm going to distribute in BF Nahapo, all me. And then in December, I was just sitting down there that something is pushing me. Have five girls who are like-minded like you, and then start this thing, because there are some people who want to help people who don't have the way to do it. So I'm just being prompted to do that. So I did a recording, sent it to 5 of my friends, and I'm like, this is me. people are just saying do smart ladies, make it big. But I think smart ladies is held that. I want to give my own thing and do it. But I wanted to spread it to just 5 ladies so that we can, with like-minded people who have the vision like me. I want to help single mothers. I want to help school kids. I want to open a center and give people who can't get the chance to go to school to do an annual course. This is me. I have it in the book. I want to open a big center, and then this center is for people, mothers. It's all about women though. They can come there and learn a hand-on course and just go to their villages and start their own. It's me, and it's all free. So I just send it to 5 people. They're like, oh, it's good. We know you've done this in a hotel, you've done that in that. So we are coming together to help you. That's how I started the Smart Ladies group. But again, I don't want it to be a super group. I just need partners who are like-minded like me. So in case I have an issue, like there's a single mother that has been stabbed and need a hospital, we can come together and go and save the person. So that's it about Smart Ladies. So it's not something that we want the mass to come and join. But we want like-minded people. If the Lord is speaking to you to help others, you can be with the Smart Ladies partners. And then when we start saying you're going to the village, and then we want to send part to Northern region. I don't know Northern region, but we will find somebody there to go to the village. People who think that when you're doing your period, you just put into Magona they are showing, into Magona they repeat. It's heartbreaking. So if you are like-minded, you just don't want the mass, because when you have a huge group who don't agree with the vision, you struggle. That's why I've been doing it all these 5-6 years. I do it alone. If I think I've got £2,000 and I want to print books and give it freely, I print my books, I give it free. So if there's like-minded, I have sponsors like Mr. B, I've got like Bobby. There's few people that when I start saying that, oh, we're going to have an event, they're like, oh, 200 if I come want it. You know, there's my principle in life. When you give, you get. It's simple. If you don't, in our Ghanaian community, your friend is just so money. When you give, you get. You will never lack. And to me, give in there. They see our friends say, oh, beer is this. I'm the last £500. I will give it and trust God.
After the program, I'll call you.
It's cases. Basically, like I deal with cases when your cases are not catched. And if I'm not led, it's not
I'll catch you by force.
So I think there's a principle in life. When you hear the soul voice, don't sit down. And you know, pastor and they preaching. There are people that pastors sound rich. Me say na this man say me juma. Me pe clap for me pe nkofo ma bo ma so me pe nkofo a omo no drugs. I want to go deep. And then you share me my pastor is no Jesus. No, I want to go deep because others exist and they are hidden.
Yes.
They are so hidden. And then we are the introduce so them an old club. Actually, a wall to do period. No. So you go there and tell them say you have to transfer and yes sir. Well, and this is what when you hear the story, don't sit down. Don't wait till the show stop and so why you want the God the person is doing an amazing job. Me that's all maybe you. And so that means to Juju say we are live. So Juju, I'm coming. We are live. She will keep on the style that we are live. Boss lady, she will keep on testing and I'll be like, oh, I'm in a meeting and I will join in very soon. So please, if you're like-minded, you wish to help others, I believe others exist. And the reason why I never lack is because I've paid my dues and I'm still paying my dues. I don't have to wait till the person has for carry and so I'm paying dues. Do you get it? So get the opportunity. When you get the opportunity, all these days in a week, we'll be invited to prayer this, prayer that, and I'm like, hey, am I not lucky? If you are in one pay you, but I'm being invited. When you're being invited to like that. Please kindly do. Thank you, Susie.
Thank you so much. As Lady Hilda said, anything, wherever you are called, my father Elder Kando always says, a little here, a little there. Go, pick up something. It will help you. Febu baby, one day you will need it and then you will apply it to your life. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming. You have been a blessing onto the Virtuous Women's Program. I believe lots of women or ladies or anybody watching you has been inspired or encouraged. To our waiting couples, we just want to tell you that we support you. We are praying with you. On our prayer group, one of our main prayer topics, we pray for couples in waiting. We pray for pregnant women. We pray for new moms and their newborn babies. We do all that. It will help us. One thing that our lady Juliana Estelle always say that it has been the prayer of her mom that has kept her that far. We want our children to say the same thing to us one day when they are grown. One day when we have been able to fulfill the purpose of God in their lives. Thank you, wonderful viewers. If you have not been there, we wouldn't have had this program. We thank you for not even wasting, spending a little of your time with us. We believe that you have been inspired. Thank you again so much, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we see you next time on the Virtuous Women's Program. We say have a fruitful week and God richly bless you. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Oh,